Welcome back to Cap. I'm Corbin,
And I'm Cody.
and today we're going to tell you why Sinners should win Best Picture in 15 minutes or less. It's the 10th and final part in our 10-part series where we
Woo!
break down each of the Best Picture nominees at the 98th Academy Awards. Today, we're only talking about what we love about the movie, no outside drama, no negatives. We're not going to be posting variety articles about how this movie needs to make this much money in order to be profitable. Purely the great stuff. What makes this movie awesome? It broke the record for Oscar nominations with 16 total, along with picture. It's got director, actor, supporting actress, original screenplay, casting, cinematography, editing, costume design, production design, makeup and hairstyling, score, sound, best original song, and VFX.
Oh my. It's a lot of noms. It is the record, which is awesome. And yeah, we saved the best for last. Number 10 of the series here. Shout out if you've watched all the way through with us. And yeah, I mean, I think for us, this has a lot of arguments for the best movie of the year. Clearly it did for the Academy as well. Kind of crazy that I mean it basically swept all the technicals along with the costumes and with the acting too. I mean, I think they even missed supporting actor nom that they could have easily gotten.
Well, they
And
got supporting actor, but they missed in lead actress. That was the only thing it didn't really. That was like the
it's
one major
true.
because you got Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, I
Um,
was saying Miles Caton though too, like didn't even get
True,
nommed,
right?
which
They
is
could have
crazy.
gotten another one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see what you mean. Yeah,
but yeah, I think like you said, actually the only main one they did miss is Best Actress, pretty much, right? What did it not get
yeah.
nominated for other than that? Anything?
I mean, things that it can't be nominated for: animated feature,
Animated, yeah.
international film, adapted screenplay. Sinners too, maybe.
Could have
But
gotten
no,
nominated
it,
for
it
those too,
literally
but
everything it was eligible for, other than Best Actress, it
that's
was
awesome.
nominated in.
And
So,
it's
and
deserved.
really,
And
like, there wasn't a lead actress. I guess you could argue
yeah,
Haley Steinfeld, but really, she would probably just be in supporting as well.
yeah, I think her screen time just couldn't wield a nomination like that, although she is great.
A lot of incredible female characters in this movie,
Yeah,
and an incredible cast. You've got, of course, Wumi Masaku, who does get the actual nomination, Jamie Lawson, who's incredible, her singing performance, along with Miles Caton. I think we should probably start with the music. Obviously, it gets score, it gets best original song. The music is literally integral to the story. It's kind of the genre blending of vampirism against the backdrop of blues history through the 20th century, and in the way that it was perforated and changed and stolen by white people and profited upon white people. You ever watch the movie Elvis?
shut up,
How'd that
Baz.
guy get famous, right? um, he's white. And but this movie uses fucking genre and vampirism to commentate on these much greater ideas, and it's also just like a good genre movie. It's sexy, it's got incredible costumes and awesome location. It's shot incredibly with this giant IMAX film, full 70 millimeter 4:3 aspect ratio and scenes. Ryan Coogler was doing his sit down Kodak. Here's all the different formats you can see this movie in, and it got people out to the fucking theater, and it became a true cultural moment. For that reason alone, like the movie of the year.
I echo that completely. I do think as well, just yeah, its success, at the box office, like you said, it is a cultural, I feel like impact movie of 2025. That is kind of the movie that everyone remembers going to see in theaters from this year. The music alone, I mean, like you were saying, just absolutely amazing. Beautiful costuming with the period piece and cinematography hits as well. Once we get into that barn, kind of, I feel like that music scene specifically there, just takes this movie to a different level. I think maybe the setup, it's not my favorite part of the movie, but once we hit that scene on, it's kind of like there's not a bad scene in the movie, I don't think. I wanted to shout out Jack O'Connell pretty quickly off the bat too. I think he's a fun villain. Adds the iconicness.
Also, good song from him as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. And yeah, I mean,
Rocky Road to Dublin.
it's a banger. But yeah, I mean, just everything all together with this movie. I don't know if you can find too many flaws, and I think the Academy obviously shows that. But I do think, on a technical level, it is beautiful. Just the cinematography, specific shots that I love. Even with the epilogue of the brothers looking at the sunset for the last time, which is such a dope shot to save to the very end as well. But also the kind of climactic shot too of Jack O'Connell, bursting into flames. and Caton and Michael B in the background, kind of reacting. I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite shots of the year too. So I don't see any flaws, kind of in this movie in general, really.
Yeah, it's incredibly well written, incredibly shot, designed. Michael B. Jordan at the center of it, playing two characters. I think we've both talked about how on the first watch it's like, okay, this is pretty impressive, but when you really like start to pay attention to the differences and the way he kind of walks and the confidence he has as each of these characters, and you're able to track them from beginning to end, it is like a really impressive work. And the fact that they were shooting this on film and doing those visual effects and getting that to all look really incredible, have them literally hand each other cigarettes. I think it's perfectly done. And it's like, you didn't need to do twins. You could have just cast two actors to play brothers, but you got Michael B. Jordan. Why not have him play two roles?
I feel like you have to double down if you have Michael B. Jordan, but yeah, you said it there too. On a rewatch, I do think the two characters are kind of a lot more noticeably different. One being, the more serious kind of businessman type, and then the other, kind of the happier go lucky. I think his relationship with Miles Caton is great. And Smokestack, I think just both of them are iconic characters,
Great
and
names too.
yeah, true. I mean, I love their backstory too, of kind of they were running with Capone in Chicago, and
Served in
um,
World War I, went up to Chicago. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's a fun backstory, and then them coming in to town immediately and like wanting to open that night just shows kind of like the ambition and just who they are as people. So I think their setup was great. And then I think too, like him balancing two love interests and making both of them very effective
Yeah,
relationships.
he has chemistry with both of Hailey Steinfeld and Wumi
Yeah.
Masako.
I think like the emotional climax of the movie is kind of him, reuniting with Wunmi, and obviously their child who had passed away. And then the other one kind of gets to live forever. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds for Michael B. Jordan. But like you said too, the fact that it is seamlessly done, like it's not even something you think about after the movie is like, wow, there's two Michael B. Jordans there. Like they actually had to do a crap ton of filmmaking to make it look really good. But I feel like it's an afterthought in this movie just because it is so seamless.
I love also the little bits of lore and world building they do give us. The Choctaw Indian Native American characters who are basically the vampire hunters. We don't really get to see a lot of them, but it's like, fuck, make a whole movie just about those guys. I'd love to see what their deal is. And obviously, there's like this whole history of them hunting down these vampires. Jack O'Connell has his own history, and the reason he's trying to go after Miles Caton is because he wants to reconnect with his ancestors. There's the power of music in this movie and how it is used as this like magic portal time traveling device, which I think is just all really cool and very unique. It's beyond just the simple, there's blood sucking guys that don't want to be in the sunlight. Like there's a bunch of different layers of the hoodoo stuff with Annie, and it just makes me not want a sequel, but I want to be in this world more.
I think we're getting a sequel, aren't we? I'm pretty sure.
Probably, the later years.
I mean, with such a hit like this, I feel like you have to do another, kind of no questions asked. But yeah,
Stacking Mary in the 70s.
I mean, dude, like you set them up to live forever as well. Like this could be the new franchise. You can make 10 of these pretty easily, I think. And that is because the vampire kind of fantasy elements, like you were talking about, I think are done very, very well. Even the classic lore of having to invite them in, I think is, done creatively, and specifically having Jack O'Connell at the helm, kind of this band, just his pure charisma alone. And I think he's obviously a really great actor and great casting for sure. Like, it deserves the casting nomination here as well, kind of based off the criteria of deep cast. Everyone is pretty much perfect. Even the Chinese couple, like I think they're very effective in super small screen time. I love both of their casting.
Omar Benson Miller plays Cornbread as well. We haven't shouted
I
out
love
Cornbread,
Cornbread,
just a
yeah.
fun comic relief character. And then obviously,
And
rest in peace.
Delroy Lindo, we don't talk about enough, I think,
True.
too.
Playing the fucking harmonica, looking cool as hell. One of the greats.
Yeah, I think that was super cool to see him nominated. I think that was maybe the biggest not surprise nomination from the movie, but I think well deserved. he does a great job too of having some comedic elements, specifically when there's kind of more intense moments as well.
Well, and I even love like his intro when he's like, "Hey man, like this is my spot. Like, don't even like
Yeah.
you gotta watch yourself." Like he's kind of a hard ass, but Miles Caton's character, Sammy's character's father, doesn't want him to play music, so he needs somebody in his life that's this is a new force. Smoke and Stacker encouraging him. Now he meets this Del Lindo guy who plays music. Everybody's encouraging him to follow his dreams and to play this music because he's got a real talent, which is fun.
And that's what makes Caton's character just one of the best in the movie, I think. That relationship with his dad, I think is such a great setup for him. But obviously, I mean, his pure talent um, is the big standout. And kind of once he figures out what he wants to do with his life, I love kind of the conclusion with his character as well. I feel like the typical thing in a movie like this would be like, oh, him to give up music forever and never
But
talk
no,
about
he becomes
vampires
fucking
again.
Buddy Guy, dude. He becomes a
Becomes a
legend.
legend. Yeah. Which I love that kind of conclusion for his character. So I just love stuff like that where the movie allows them to choose kind of what they want to do for themselves instead of just doing kind of, what you're expected to.
Really like the way this is a movie very much about race. You have the Chinese characters, Grace and Bo Chow, who are the shopkeepers. There's a real rich history in the Mississippi River Delta area of these stores being owned by Chinese people, immigrants that have come in and opened these shops, and they would serve to the black communities and to the white communities. And you see that there's a store on both sides of the street that they're segregated. And then it also becomes a commentary of who can be white. Irish people at different points in history have been determined to be white or not white. The Asian people, again, in this movie are able to fit in to the communities. She very quickly gives up the rest of the people in the juke joint. She instantly turns on them just to get back with her husbands. That tells the vampires to come in. So there's kind of the fact that maybe when the going gets tough, sometimes it's easier to turn against each other rather than to like stand up and support each other, especially when you have these like cultural differences. So like all of those ideas I think are really interesting. And then like I talked about with Jack O'Connell is representing this Irish character. Fucking Ryan Coogler, he's a guy, he's got Ryan, that's an Irish name. Like there's this history in this, there's a similarities in the struggle, but awfully great differences. He's just trying to get them to assimilate, to join their side, to give up their culture, to become part of the hive mind is terrible, but not like as on the surface evil as you might expect, which I think is really interesting as well. Like he's a bad character, but he doesn't really want to like kill these people, and he doesn't hate them. He's not a racist. He's just he wants them to all be his fellow vampires.
He's just a
He's like,
lover of vampires,
he
yeah.
I think they're very similar to like the Get Out white people.
Yeah, it's true, I guess. But yeah, I want to say too, I mean, touching up themes of race too, like that's a thing with Haley Steinfeld's character as well that I thought they did really, really well. Especially with the one line with one me where
As she's a passing biracial woman. Yeah.
yeah, and I like that scene where Jack O'Connor's like, hey, she's let in, why can't I? And he was like, she's family. I just thought that was really cool of establishing her, interconnectivity with the group already. And also too, yeah, I don't know why the one lady invited them in really. I guess I'm like, kind of confused on that. Well, I guess they were going after her daughter, I think was the
Well, and
point.
her husband was out there. He had been turned into a vampire, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna go eat your
But also
daughter."
like
And
the timing of sunrise, I feel like they have to have some sort of, knowing of when that's going to happen just from experience. And it kind of just happens really quickly on them. And I don't know what their plan was. But also like if they just stayed in there for, like another hour, they were probably fine. So yeah, probably not a great move, but definitely made a better, third act with kind of, it feels like a Infinity War moment, with Star Lord. We
well,
gotta
and
we
then
gotta
yeah,
have
there's like a
something
couple
bad
like
happen.
random people that are still there that you're like, where the fuck did they come from? They haven't been in any of these scenes. It. Listen, that's my one critique of the movie is literally that
But
action
it
set
makes
piece.
it, yeah, but it makes it a great action set piece. So like
Sure.
if there's a little bit of plot, who cares really? Somebody's gonna crack under pressure, like you were saying. It's not like this crazy, crazy thing. But I think the script altogether actually is really very strong, especially like I was saying with the bookend that they do. Really funny just to see like Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld like roll up in modern clothes and stuff. I don't know. I just love the aesthetic of the ending.
Let's give it Best Picture, Cody. Let's make it happen.
It's gonna happen.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.